One thing that we did to kind of start off being vulnerable, or an exercise that you guys can do, I guess we can say, is look into the 5 love languages.
Welcome to a place dedicated to the modern day artist, couple, and entrepreneur.
Welcome to a place where you can grow, connect, and challenge the new world around you.
Welcome to a new perspective.
Welcome
to SuaveHouse.
Welcome to SuaveHouse.
I'm KaySuave.
I'm LadySuave.
And we just cut each other off. But it's a beautiful day anyway.
It's okay. Today we are going to be talking about before we met, because our last couple of episodes you guys got to see our engagement, you got to see our wedding, and now we want to help all of you couples get to where we are and show you how you can get through the things that we've gotten through.
Pretty much the type of person that we had to become in order to really find the love of our life. That type of thing doesn't just land in your lap. You have to be ready for it.
And you have to work for it. Like,
facts.
I know a lot of people look at our relationship and may not think that, you know, we put in a lot, because I feel like we make it look easy sometimes. Mm-hmm. But we definitely had to start off by being very vulnerable, honest, and upfront with each other. Before our relationship, I mean, I definitely was not this person. I was not this girl. I wasn't this woman. I wasn't even a woman. Like,
damn, we going there. So when we were 12.
No, not 12. When we met, I just gotten out of a bad relationship. And after that, I was like, I don't want to date. I just want to be me, do my own thing. Like, I don't want to have to give to somebody else. Like, I need to be giving to myself right now. And then you came along, but I was still very much like, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to see how this goes. I'm not going to label it. I'm not going to say it's something or anything. Like, I'm just going to see how it flows. Like, it just came natural. What did you think? Where were you? Who were you? All things.
I was very extroverted personality, meaning I knew how to entertain and, like, you know, I don't know how to put it. I knew how to work with people and I talked to people, but as far as like me going anywhere, doing anything, I wasn't that type. So it was really hard for me to ever meet anyone, because I was always at home. But I was working on music, you feel me? I was just talking to the homie earlier. I was learning how to make trash because I was not good at the time.
Well,
but true. But in those grassroots days, like, I really took time to focus on myself and where I was as a person, because I had a few relationships before that failed pretty much. Like, I found out that this person that I said that I love, I didn't actually love. Like, I thought I knew what love was. Said Caesar understands. I thought I knew what love was, but that was not it. I didn't realize that until I fell in love with her. I needed time to take for myself in order to grow. Like, this is when I learned about the law of attraction. This is when I started to get into more self-help. So these people speaking into my life, like, you have to focus on becoming the person that you want to live like, you know, however you see your future self. And so that's where I was. I was in this growth space. And although at the very moment when we met, it was I wasn't at the pinnacle of where I thought I should be by the time I met the person, my person. You know, I was definitely in my lowest point. Not lowest, but I was in a low point. And the fact that she came at that time was actually pivotal for me to be able to grow into the man that I am today.
Like, you saying that it was a low point for you. For me, it felt like a high point in my life, because I was, you know, pretty much heavily involved more in dancing. Like, I was on the cheer team, dance team for Sac City at the college, community college, and then went on and started doing auditions for things, and I started teaching a cheer squad and stuff like that at this independent studio. And so that was a very high point for me in my life, but it wasn't until we got together that things sort of switched for me. And at first it didn't feel good, but I am a person that had to learn how to enjoy the journey of things. And that's one thing that I did with our relationship. Like, because I didn't want to force it. I didn't want to label it or anything. Like, it was just had to be natural. And I was like, I'm gonna just treat this relationship a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna treat it like my other ones. I'm gonna be vulnerable. I'm gonna communicate. And I was also looking into things like law of attraction and stuff like that. Not as heavily as he was. I was like, yeah, I heard of the movie. I don't even remember the name of it now.
The Secret?
The Secret, yeah. I don't even remember the name of it. But I know that I've heard of it. I just was like, I didn't catch that from it.
Dang.
But you definitely were an influence in that. So yeah. I think I kind of helped you with being a little bit more vulnerable.
Oh yeah, like, I'm closed off, detached. All strangers are threats to my heart.
Like, you definitely brought like that law of attraction mindset, but I don't want to take all the credit. But I think when it comes to like how we communicate, I set the tone for that.
No. You said some of the tone for it. Okay, here's the thing. I am good at communicating. I don't have a problem communicating.
When he wants
When I want to. But I'm still very direct. She has taught me how to talk about the things that you don't really want to talk about when you know you should talk about them.
Yeah, I've had plenty of practice with that through therapy and things like that. And yeah, when we first got together, like, I first kind of started to go back. And then we got together and I was like, all right, I'm fine. I don't need this. I left. I think getting some of those tools and having to always, you know, be vulnerable to other people in that sense, I thought that's something that I should definitely bring to my relationship. I was pretty much in a sense like, oh, well, I ain't got nothing else to lose, so.
That's a good place to be, honestly. Like, as long as your responsibilities are handled, personal responsibilities, meaning that you feel like your level of self-love is relatively in a good spot, you know, that's when it's the perfect time to have a mindset of like, I don't have nothing to lose when it comes to being vulnerable enough to fall in love, to receive love, genuine love from someone else.
Yeah.
Like, but it's hard to do that when you don't love yourself. It can be very difficult. We still had to grow through that too. Like,
yep.
Basically, the journeys we were talking about, we were taking, like, those were self-love journeys.
Yeah.
Like, how close are we to that 100% self-love? You know, at the time we met, I think I was at like a 75, maybe a 65. It was, you know, whatever the case, but I was still in a good spot that a year ago I was not prepared for. To actually go that deep with someone and trust someone with your heart that much. Like, and there were times, like, we had some dark times when we both still had to level up in that self-love department in order to even love each other on another level.
I know a lot of people like put stuff out there like you can't love anybody until you love yourself. It wasn't until I had his love that I was able to break down and say that I didn't have as much love as I thought for myself. And I think if you wouldn't have come into my life at the time that you did, I wouldn't have had that extra bit of strength in order to go deep and see, like, not what's wrong with me, but like, why do I feel this way? And to really explore that really deeply to a point where, like, yeah, after we got into our relationship, I dealt with depression. But he has been a rock in that because he understood that, because I was able to open up and let him know, like, hey, here's the deal. This is what I've gone through in my life. This is what I'm dealing with. These are the things that I am feeling. And not really putting it on him to feel like he has to fix me. Like, you have to want to work on yourself. That's the thing. You have to want to love yourself in order to love somebody else. Because if you can't find that love within yourself, how are you going to be able to see yourself within other people? Which you should all the time, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, the love you can give, you can't give more than you have.
Yeah.
Essentially. Your level of self-love has to exceed the amount of love you're giving out.
One thing that we did to kind of start off being vulnerable, or an exercise that you guys can do, I guess we can say, is look into the 5 love languages. Mm-hmm. Find out your guys' love languages. And they even list an exercise where you guys can do check-ins with each other. And when communicating, make sure that you're using words like, I feel, I think, I hear you, but I don't understand you. I hear you, but I do understand you. And just being very clear with your thoughts, like whatever comes to mind, like let that be known. This is what's coming to my mind. And then say it. I feel like when you do that, the other person can't react, because you're like, when you do that, this is the first thing that comes to my mind. And they might be like, oh, okay. Well, that's your first reaction. Mm-hmm. And they can't react off of you just being like, ah.
Yes, we will be providing links in the description for you guys to check out the 5 Love Languages book, as well as any YouTube videos or something that we can find that kind of break it down in video format if you're a visual learner. That's a great challenge for you guys. Check out the 5 love languages, see how it applies to you on self-love levels, as well as if you're in a relationship and what that looks like in your relationship.
Yes.
So, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Peace.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to we never do the first one, right? Don't hesitate. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to what does that say? Well, she got me on my history. That was the thing too. Like I didn't give 2 shits about history. Now I care a little more. Just enough to make a difference, you know? But I was like, this is boring. But you can actually kind of accurately predict the future by looking at some history as far as like what to expect, because humans are creatures of habit, so.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a totally different topic.
Yes, tangent. Why? What, babe? No.
That's not what we had on the...
No.
Okay. Anyways.